This is Canadian Mgtow. Having fun, and not giving a shit. Today's video is called, Why You Should Thank Your Wife for Giving You a Hard Time. Time to dissect another article found on the Good Men Project website. Or as I affectionately call it, the Good Manginas Project. Their site's tagline is "The conversation no one else is having is well chosen." I will give them that. The reason it is a good tagline is that most men I know do not have conversations around the topics this so-called men's site chooses to publish. How often do you sit around the lunchroom, look at your coworker Fred, and say, "Did you read that awesome article about the guy who came out gay? His parents accepted it, but didn't accept him coming out as transgender a few years later." Or how about the female ego-pumping articles like 4 Reasons Why I Prefer to Date Older Women, and Why You Should Thank Your Wife for Giving You a Hard Time? The last one I am not making up. Dissection time. This article's writer is Stephen, so at least it wasn't written by a woman. A quick scan of the article showed just 5 reasons. Surely submitting yourself to a hard time is worth more than 5 reasons. I asked my former blue pill self, maybe they are 5 powerful reasons? Nope. I will use a female voice for Steve's quotes. He would probably want it that way. Damn pussy beggar.
1. Women are braver than men on emotional topics.
Sorry, I call bullshit. I wish I had $1 every time I asked my ex-wife what was wrong, to get just a reply of nothing. Of course Stephen's example is not something like mine, but simply an observance of couples in his relationship coaching sessions in which a man will deny having an affair. No mention at all of how a woman reacts when it is her that had an affair.
2. Men place a premium on their work lives, often to the detriment of the family relationship.
Stephen says,
this is an historical problem that reflects man's relationship to work, life, and family within a patriarchal paradigm.
Oh, God. He's a feminist. Now you would think he would give an example of how a wife gives you a hard time over your work life, but he doesn't. He just applauds men who choose to be the primary caregiver. So is the hidden feminist agenda for men to just cave into a wife bitching about you working overtime, and let her be the breadwinner? Well, maybe I would consider such an option if it even was an option. Had I chosen it, my standard of living would have gone down 70%. Actually, scratch that. It would go down 100% because my ex-wife did not make enough to cover much more than rent and food. 10 years after my divorce, my ex-wife is making more money than her new husband, but I can tell she does not like being the breadwinner. One last comment I have about men putting a premium on their work lives is simply that premium is often the difference between keeping and losing your job. Some jobs, like engineering, are project-based. When the project fails, or is late, losing your job is a definite possibility. A project deadline does not care if a piece of equipment fails, or the results in the lab do not match what you saw in a simulation.
3. I assume that how I see the world is how it is.
Just a line of BS in which Stephen admits to slamming headfirst into his delusion of how the world is, simply by going out with a woman who is able to voice her own opinions. Okay, so I need to be married to a hard ass of a woman simply to invalidate my perceptions? I've had perceptions changed by others from a wide variety of sources: friends, teachers, parents, siblings, even Weird Al Yankovic.
4. Selfishness. Sometimes, I just do it her way to please her, just not all the time.
Stephen points out. Sure, Stephen. Whatever you say. I believe you. Questions I would have for Stephen are this. If I am just a selfish guy, why would a woman marry me in the first place? And why would she wait to be hard on me until after the wedding day? As far as selfishness goes, narcissists, as a general rule, are very selfish. Ask yourself this: which sex do you see taking selfies the most?
5. Being able to take direction.
Warning. The following quote by Stephen is rated M for manginas.
When my wife asks me to do some task that I would normally do or have agreed to do, I do it. Right away. I don't even think about it anymore. I just do it. End of complaining and her having to treat me like a child. Boom. Done. End of story. By allowing myself to take direction from her, I end up being a much happier person.
Poor Stephen. Never had a chance. Another victim of, yes, dear. This guy sounds like he is totally subservient to women. An ex-friend of mine, who became a mangina, would often use the phrase of keeping the peace. Well, if keeping the peace means being a man-slave, in fear of sweetie blowing her top, then just maybe, you are in the wrong relationship. I work hard, and I have been steadily employed for over 23 years, in an industry where change is constant. I damn well know how to take direction. I'll be damned if I am going to come home only to be directed on what to do next, like some kind of dog. I once met the great-aunt of my ex-wife while in Vancouver. She was an ex-school teacher, and was in early retirement. Her husband was a full-time professor at a university. I heard of, and actually saw a list of tasks his wife had written down for him. She did this on a daily basis. I was not surprised in the least to hear that he passed away, and that she is still kicking some 20 years later. I am dead certain that keeping the peace shortened his life. In conclusion, I look at these 5 points and I do not feel motivated whatsoever. Summed up in one long run-on sentence, the sell job is summarized as this. I want to live with a woman who gives me a hard time so that she can be braver on emotional topics, while I take work less seriously, and while she's busy changing my perceptions of reality, including what a selfish prick I am. I will happily take her direction with such speed and frequency that it becomes automatic, and this in turn will make me a happier person. Did I say that correctly, dear? Wow. Where do I sign up? If you happen to be a male client of Stephen's relationship coaching, please do yourself a favor and do the following 10 steps. 1. Purchase 9mm pistol, preferably a Glock 1, they're good starters as they are not too expensive. 2. Purchase 9mm ammunition from any reliable gun store. If you are not sure about which ammo you need, just ask the shopkeeper, most are happy to help. 3. Press button on side of hand grip to eject magazine. 4. Insert bullets one at a time, with the rounded side forward, until magazine is full. 5. Reinsert magazine by pushing upward into hand grip until you hear a clicking noise indicating magazine has locked in place. 6. Disengage the safety by pushing down on safety lever at top, rear of gun. 7. Pull back slide on top of barrel to load bullet into the firing chamber. 8. Now point the pistol to your right ear, as if it were a giant Q-tip. 9. Place pointing finger onto trigger. 10. Pull trigger one time for each shot you fire. Try to see if you can pull the trigger at least 2 times. Make a game of it and go for a high score. By following these 10 steps, you will avoid a long and painful life. This concludes this article. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, rate and subscribe. Thank you. This is Canadian Mgtow, signing off. Save yourself. Go Mgtow.